everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kay, and in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different to anything I've ever done before. So what I want to do here is I want to take a look at all the things that I have either received in beauty subscription boxes or I've purchased in the previous year, and I want to see whether I've actually used any of it, and if I have, how much. Now, I was inspired to do this by Hailey O. She was previously Just Buy the Makeup. I absolutely love watching her project pans, but she also does two series. One is monitoring her beauty purchases, and the second one is Was That Haul Worth It, where she looks back at what she bought in the previous year to see whether she's actually used or enjoyed any of what she bought. And I thought I kind of want to do something like that. I kind of want to hold myself a bit more accountable for what I've got and what I'm using or not using. And sometimes I look at some of the things that I've got and I think, I don't know where it came from. I don't know how long I've had it. I don't know where it came from. Sometimes I'm looking at it thinking, I don't even think I've used it. So I want to just sort of have a bit of a delve into that and see what happens. So what I've done is I've had a look back at my videos from April 2020. What a month that was. And I've pulled together the products that I've mentioned, either that I've had in subscription boxes or that I've purchased. And we're going to have a look and see whether I've used them and what I thought of them if I did. So just a little disclaimer before we get into it. I'm only going to be talking about boxes and products that I've actually talked about on camera. So I know last year I didn't do a few videos. I missed a couple of FabFitFuns. I missed a couple of Try Beauty boxes, and I think I missed a couple of Glossy boxes as well. If I didn't talk about them on camera, I'm not going to talk about them now because there's nothing for you guys to reference. So I just wanted to mention that in case anyone was thinking, well, hang on a minute, what happened to Glossybox this month? If I didn't film it, I'm not going to talk about it, mainly because I don't remember what I got. If I didn't film it, I've got no record of it, so it's going to be hard for me to even figure that out. Also, I just want to mention that any of the products that I mentioned today that I still have in my collection, I'm going to put them into a little box, and it's going to be my little focus box. So throughout April I'm going to try and dip into that box and use what's in there, and then next month I will update you on how I've got on with that, whether I've managed to use any of it, none of it, or if there's anything I've decided that actually I just don't want this in my life anymore, I'm going to declutter it. So what happened in April 2020? So in April 2020 I had Look Fantastic, Glossy Box, Try Beauty Box, and I did do a beauty purchases video, but I didn't buy anything. By that point I was starting to feel a bit uneasy and guilty about maybe buying some things when people were starting to really struggle. A lot of people were getting sick, no one knew what was going to happen. Let's face it, some of us still don't. So I just, it didn't feel comfortable that particular month for me to buy anything. I think I got out of that by the following month. I think I managed to persuade myself that it was okay to still buy myself things. But yeah, April was just a bit not great in terms of what was going on in my head, I think. So let's get into what I actually did get. So we'll start with the Look Fantastic beauty box. So in April 2020 I got the Bella Pierre Cosmetics Peach Blossom eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. I got the Mind Tan Prep and Prime Coffee Scrub. I got the Vintage Cosmetics Slanted Tweezers. I got the Star Skin Nourishing and Brightening 2-Step Oil Sheet Mask. The Erno Laszlo Hydrophil Skin Supplement. and the Ameliorate Transforming Body Lotion. So as you can see from what I held up and what I didn't, I used up one of those products, and that was the Ameliorate body lotion. Now I do remember using that, and I actually want to get some more of it because I remember trying it and thinking, this seems okay. I think the smell was a little bit off-putting, and if you'd got broken skin, that hurt. But it's one of those that's meant to deal with the keratosis pilaris, I think it's called, the bumps that you can get on the back of your arms. I get them on my legs as well, so I really wanted to give that lotion a go, and it was in a smallish tube, and I felt like I needed some more to make my mind up as to whether that was actually working or not. So I am actually considering getting another one of those, and I did actually look at getting that a couple of months ago, but I just haven't got around to it yet. But yeah, that was something that I used up that I actually want to try again. The Bella Pierre Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. I did try this. I've probably only used it a couple of times, but it's not something that I've found myself wanting to reach for all that much, for the simple reason it's got 4 shades and 3 of them are shimmers. That's not typically how I do my eye makeup. I like to go in with matte shades and then brighten it up with a shimmer and make it a little bit more interesting with a shimmer or a foiled shade, and you just can't do that with this. So it was a bit frustrating because I remember when I first opened this up, I thought, oh, actually that might be okay, I might be able to get some use out of that. But after a couple of uses, it just wasn't for me. As I said, the shades are pretty. We've got the matte shade here, and then we've got the 3 shimmers. So we've got 1, 2 and 3. So 1, 2 and 3. And they swatch beautifully, to be honest. And they did look quite pretty on the eye, but I just don't use that much shimmer in one eye look. And I could use other palettes or other singles that I've got and use them in conjunction with this, but again, that's not typically how I do my makeup. I don't want to be sort of messing around in my collection trying to find things that go together with this. So it's kind of just been shoved in the drawer and forgotten about a little bit. So this is going to go into the little box of things that I want to give a little bit more attention to, just because of how long I've had it. But I don't hold out much hope that by the time I get to the end of next month, I'm going to feel too much differently about it. But I will update you in next month's video. Coffee scrub. I remember being really keen on this when I first got it. I now have 2 of these. So I really do want to get a move on with using them. Now this is something that I might actually struggle to use in April. We actually can't really use our shower at the moment. We're having a bit of a tile issue whereby every time we use the shower it's leaking. So we're waiting for that to be dealt with, but obviously current times everything's taking quite some time, so I'm not sure I'll actually be able to use this. But even if I don't, this is something that I will probably hang on to. I'll probably just leave it in that box of stuff to use and try and use it at a later date when I can finally have a shower again. The slanted tweezers from Vintage Cosmetics. I have used these, but they're not my favourites. They're kind of my backup tweezers for when I've lost all other tweezers, which happens more often than I'd like to admit. So they're handy to have, but they're not something that I want to use all that often. I do definitely have other tweezers that I prefer, so I'm going to keep hold of them, but they're tweezers. The Starskin mask, again, was something that I was really curious about. I've never used a multi-step mask system before, so this was really interesting to me, and I just, as you can see, haven't used it. So this is something that I'm definitely going to make more of an effort to use this April. And then the Ernal Laszlo Hydrofel Skin Supplement. It's basically a moisturising toner. I have spoken about this on my channel before. I had a sample from Feel Unique, I think, ages ago, and I fell in love with it, but it's so expensive to buy a full-size version, so I was sort of shopping around for cheaper alternatives, which I've found a couple that I've quite enjoyed since then, but I do still love this stuff. So I was really happy that I've got this, and I think one of the reasons that I haven't used it is because I know I like it and I don't want it out of my life, so I just haven't used it, which is ridiculous. So this is going in the box. I'm going to try and use it. I don't know if I'm going to get much use out of it in April, because I am currently using other cleansers and toners at the moment, so I'm going to try, but I don't actually know if I'm going to get around to it in April. But again, if I don't, I'll just keep it in the box of things that I want to focus on, and I'll hopefully get around to it before this time next year. So now we're on to last year's April edition of Glossybox, and in that one we had the Ritual of Sakura rice scrub, the Avant Gentle Rose Beautifying Face Exfoliant, the Nails Inc Blossom Kisses nail polish, the Hask Argan Oil Repairing Deep Conditioner, and the Sport FX Raspberry and Rhubarb Recovery Lip Balm. Now, out of all of those things, I've already decluttered one, and that was the Sport FX Lip Balm. I recently did my lip product collection. I say recently, I think I did it in February. And yeah, it was one of the things to go. It smelled amazing. I loved the scent of that product, but it was just so... it just felt really thick and heavy on the lips, and I just didn't enjoy it, so I decluttered it. And then, although it looks like I haven't used any of the other products from that box, I have actually recently been using these two. So I did start using these a few months ago, and that was the Rituals Softening Rice Scrub and the Avant Face Exfoliant. So I'm just going to continue to use these as I would do anyway. They're just going to stay in my bathroom for me to use. And obviously I'll talk about how I feel about them more in depth in an empties. But just going off what I know already, the rice scrub is okay. It's not as scrubby as I would like. It's a little bit too gentle for me. But as with all things from the Sakura range, I love the scent of this, so I don't mind so much. It's just more like a body wash for me than anything else. And then the Avant product, I've spoken about Avant a few times now. It's overpriced. In my opinion, it's just overpriced. As a face exfoliant, it's alright, but it's nothing that I'm gonna want to spend nearly £100 on. I'm just not. So I'm using it, but that's my thoughts so far. The nail polish, I think I've used it once. It's okay. It's a very pretty colour. I do like the colour, but it's not my favourite formula. I do like the brush on these. They're similar to the Essie brushes in that they're quite flat and wide, so you can sort of cover a lot of ground quite quickly. So that I do really like. But yeah, it's just not a polish that I reach for all that often. And to be honest, I don't really wear nail polish all that often. So if I do, and I'm already not gravitating to this, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But I am going to put it in the box, and if the will takes me that I want to put any effort into my nails, I will be using this one. And then the Hask hair conditioner. I've used a few Hask products in the past. I really enjoy them, so why I haven't used this I don't know, but it's going in the box for me to use quite soon. And now we're going to take a look at the Try Beauty box. So in that box I got the Suva Beauty Rose Period palette, and that's the outer packaging, which is beautiful. And this is what we look like on the inside. Very pretty. a highlighter from Beauty Creations, which was a collaboration with Annette69, who is an Instagram influencer. The Grace and Stella Cognac Sponges. There were 2 of them, one for morning, one for evening, a white one and a black one. The Skin Chemist's Youth Defence Lip Plump. And 2 Mirabella lip liners, one in Cheeky and one in Tease. So out of all of those products, I decluttered the highlighter from Beauty Creations. It was just too dark for me. I tried it a couple of times and I just didn't enjoy it. So when I did my blusher, bronzer, highlighter collection video, I got rid of that then. So I did try it, but it just wasn't for me. The Grace and Stella Cognac Sponges, I did actually use those. I really enjoyed them, and doing this video has actually reminded me I have at least one more cognac sponge that I need to crack open, so I think I might do that soon as well. But yeah, the 2 I had from the Try Beauty box in April last year were really nice. So, and it was the first time I'd ever used a cognac sponge as well. I didn't really know what they did or what they were for. I'm still not entirely sure I'm, you know, accurate in what I think about them, but yeah, I enjoyed using them, and as I said, I wouldn't be unhappy to try more in future. So that was those. The Suva Beauty palette, I was really keen to get this, and I was so excited when I realised this was going to be in the Try Beauty box, and then I have barely used it, which isn't great. It's not my favourite formula. I mean, the colour story is just beautiful. I love the pinks and the purpley tones. It just looks beautiful, but the mattes are a little bit chalky for my tastes. They're just not my favourite, so I tend to reach for other things instead of this, which is a shame. So this is going to be going into the box. I am going to make more of an effort to use it and get some more in-depth thoughts on it, and I'll let you know how I get on with it next month. The Skin Chemist's Lip Plumper, I remember getting this, and I remember trying it not long after I had it, and I know I posted on Instagram about it because it wasn't comfortable. I really didn't enjoy using this. Now, I did recently do my lip collection, as I said, and I thought for a split second that I might declutter this, but then I thought, no, it's been a while since I've used it. I hadn't really used lip plumpers at the time that I'd had this, so maybe I just was uncomfortable at the idea of them. Maybe I just wasn't used to it. I still haven't really used lip plumpers since then, so I doubt my opinion's going to have changed on this, but I'm willing to give it another go. So I did hang on to it, and then when I was gathering together all my bits for this video, I realised this was part of this month's box and thought it's the perfect opportunity to give it a go. So into the box it goes, and I'll let you know how I get on with it next month. And then the lip liners, I have used these a couple of times, but not a lot, so I'm keen to give these a bit more of a try. They are in shades that I quite enjoy. So this one is Cheeky, which is this one here, and then this one is Tease, and that's this one. So they are in shades that I can see myself getting some use out of. With my project pan as well, in about 5-6 days time from when I'm filming this, I'm about to look at doing my refresh from my project pan as well. So when I do take a look at my lip products, it might be that I can incorporate these into whatever I put into there as well, to make life a little bit easier from both angles, from using these products and using my project pan products. I might be able to get use out of both that way. So that's those. So in total in April I had 17 products come into my life that I filmed anyway. Out of those 17 I have used up 2 and decluttered 2. So that leaves me with 13 products that I still have in my collection. Now obviously one of those products is a pair of tweezers, so that's not something that I'm going to be able to use up, but that's quite worrying to me that out of 17 products I've got, say, 12 that I have barely gotten any use out of. And that is one of the reasons that I wanted to do this video. I wanted to properly have a look and see what I was using, and the answer is not a lot, so I think I need to work on that. I also think I need to maybe look at a way that I can use some of the products that I get throughout this year before I get to the same stage again next year, because otherwise I'm going to be using last year's products this year, and then this time next year I'm going to be in the same position again. So I think I need to look at that as well, because clearly I'm getting more into my life than I'm using. And if I get to the end of this year and that is the case and it looks like it's going to be the same for this year's products, then I will probably look at maybe dropping a subscription box or two. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so let me know what you think of this video, by the way. Is this something that you're actually interested in? Are you curious to see how much I'm actually using or not using? Let me know if you're in a similar position to me, in that you're getting things into your life and you're not getting as much use out of them as you would like. Also, let me know if you do get subscription boxes and you do actually manage to use up the majority of the products quite quickly. I'd love some hints and tips on how to do that. As I said, if you do like the idea of this video, then just let me know, and if you could leave me a thumbs up too, it really would help me out, and it's another way of letting me know that you're enjoying my content. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you could hit that subscribe button too. It's totally free and would help you to find me more easily in future. And with all of that being said, I really do hope everyone's well and staying safe, and I will see you all again in another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.